Elisa Stillwell Rogers with Simply Southern Recipes by Rocket City Girls, and I'm going to share some recipes with you today. And when you live out in the country like we do, we live about 30 plus miles from Huntsville, Alabama, the Rocket City. If you want German food, you have to go and get in your car and drive all the way to Huntsville to get it, because you cannot find it out where we live at all. So one of our favorite family meals is German food, and so I'm going to do about 3 recipes. One is German green bean, the German potato salad that we serve warm, and the kielbasa and kraut. But I've got about 16 little red skin potatoes in here. Use 16 to 20, you know, they're not very large, but I'm going to bring them up to a boil them about 5 minutes, put the lid on, turn them off, and let them just sit there and steep for a bit. It'll hold your potato together to where it's not falling completely apart and kind of mushy, because we don't care for that. And it makes a prettier presentation as far as your German potato salad goes. So I'm going to get this started, and then I'll start cutting up my onions and everything that goes in the potato salad. So I'll be right back. Okay, gotta get it on the eye. Get it boiling. I'm going to take half of this onion and chop it up to go into some bacon grease. Now, all good Southern women save their bacon grease. We put it in a mason jar. We put it in the refrigerator. It's there when we need it for flavoring. So I'm going to cook these onions in this bacon grease. Instead of frying bacon, I just pulled out some crumbled bacon that I already have. You just throw it in there right at the end when your onions are translucent, and it tastes this exact same without all the fuss of having to cook bacon too. So let me get started cutting this onion up, and we'll be right back. Alright, almost fixing to come to a boil. Once it does, we let it boil for 5 minutes. Then you put your lid on, turn it off, and let them steep for about 20. Okay, here's my bacon grease, y'all. Now, put my onions in here, and I am going to cook them in this bacon grease until they're translucent, and then I will add them to my potatoes over here that I got cooking for this German potato salad. My onions are translucent. I have turned the heat off, and now I'm going to shake about a half of, let's see how many ounces this is, 4.3 ounce bag of bacon, crumbled bacon bits into here so they can soak up that grease. Oh, this makes the potato salad so yummy, and it's one of my husband's absolute favorites. Okay, get that all stirred up like that. My potatoes should be finished in about 5 minutes. Alright, while my potatoes are still steeping, I'm going to go ahead and start with the kielbasa and kraut. So I've got half of my kielbasa cut. I've cut the other half of that onion that we use for the potato salad. They're like bite-sized chunks. And half of a bell pepper too. So I've got those together. I'll put my kielbasa in there. Get this one cut up. Now, if you want to buy canned sauerkraut, you can, but I have this that I canned last year or the year before, and I'm just going to use this. It's about, I would say, 16 ounces of kraut. And I'll chunk up my kielbasa where it's nice bite-sized pieces. So that is done and ready to be put into the grease once my potatoes are done. Alright. Ooh, nice and hot. Now we'll cook these down until the sausage gets a nice crust on it. And the onions and peppers are done. Alright guys, looking so good. Now the next step, adding this sauerkraut. Now, I don't put a whole lot of sauerkraut. I happen to love it, but not everybody in my family does. So, I just put this little bitty jar in, little pint jar. But you know, you can buy kraut at the store. You don't make your own. I usually make my own every year. Just put all that yummy goodness in there. Now, and stir it all up. And that kraut juice and everything will dissipate the longer this cooks. And then we can put it into our Pyrex dish so that we can just warm it up when we're ready to eat. There we go. Add your little pepper to it. Crushed red pepper if you want. Spice it up a little bit. But that's basically it, and it's delicious. My kraut and kielbasa is ready. Show you what it looks like. Just like that. It is delicious. And I normally serve it with a little Dijon mustard on the side. So, put this off to the side because they're done. Now, green beans. I'm making German green beans. They are to die for. And they come with a mustard sauce. So, these are fresh. I just cleaned them up, took the ends off. If there was a string, I pulled the string, you know, bite-sized pieces, come right out of my garden. They're called Kentucky Blue Lake green beans. And so I'm going to add half of a can of chicken broth. Okay. That's all we need of that. Now, we add, let me get my little measuring cup over here. Okay. We add 1/4 of a cup of apple cider vinegar to that. Now, then we turn around and add I would say an eighth of a cup of brown sugar. Gotta have that brown sugar, because this is like a sweet and sour type of combination. Now, remember those bacon bits we had? Yep. They're going to go the rest of the bag right in there like that. Okay. Now, let's see. I hate it when all that water goes to the top. It's like, I don't want to use that part. Ew. Okay. Get this open. Come on. Okay, now that's about an eighth of a cup of Dijon mustard. Got my spoon over here. All right. Now, I'm gonna get these going. Cook them low and slow for about an hour. Now, they're not gonna be mushy. They're still gonna be kind of al dente, because that's why you want to cook them low and slow. And that way you can keep all your ingredients that you just put in here, kind of intermingle them. And we've got to get one more onion. And I'm only going to use a half of an onion. Gotta have it. It's what makes the green beans. That and that bacon. Woo! Okay. So, peel that down like that. Put that right there. Now, and pretty much, rule of thumb, is once the onions are good and translucent, the green beans should be just about done. So, I just mix them up real good. Add just a little bit of black pepper. And we're ready to start cooking. So the kielbasa and kraut is ready. The green beans are cooking. The potatoes almost done. I just quarter them. And I use the peel and all. The more rustic, the better, we think. Just like that. Now, next thing, we add chicken broth. And that potato is going to suck that up. Now, we use apple cider vinegar. but I put just enough to give it that twangy flavor. Now, I turn around and grab those onions and that bacon that we did together. And we add it into here. Every bit of it, because that is where all your flavor is coming from. And this meal will compare with some of the best German restaurants. I do guarantee that. Now, salt. Of course, you salt and pepper to taste. Not everybody likes the same amount. Pepper. And then usually you use fresh parsley, but I didn't have any fresh parsley. I do have this though, dried parsley. Now, I would suggest before serving this, let it sit room temperature and marry for about an hour, possibly even 2. And we always warm ours up before we eat it. We just think it's better that way. There is your German potato salad, down and dirty. Our meal is done. Isn't this gorgeous? And the taste is phenomenal. We have got kielbasa and kraut, German style green beans, German potato salad, Dijon mustard for dipping, rye bread, fresh sliced tomatoes, and a green onion. You can't beat it. But we are going to try to start doing a little bit more as far as the videos go, bringing you more southern recipes. Now this is by far not southern, but I tell my husband, we're having a German in the green tonight because we don't necessarily like to have to travel 30 miles just to get German food. So, but y'all please come back and join us. Subscribe, share us with your friends and family, and I hope you have a wonderful 4th of July, and I hope to see you again real soon. See ya!